Hello and welcome to the second episode of the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise mode. Today we are going to be going the top 30 prospects in the Pittsburgh Pirate organization, and if they're in this roster. The roster I'm using is the full minor league 19 roster. It has the most downloads out of any roster in the roster ball. And many others use it, and I like it as a roster. So today we're going to go over the top 30 prospects, and after this episode, episode 3, we'll finally get into gameplay, trade, thing, but I just wanted to give the first 2 episodes for a little bit of an introduction, a little bit of a showcase and preview of what's going to be in this series. So, the first episode, as I'm recording, just went up a few minutes ago, and this one will probably go up on the same day. Hopefully I can get a few of these out a day, or just try to do at least one every day or every other day. Get a few years into this career mode, but let's start with the number 30 prospect in the Buck system. So the number 30 prospect in the Buck system's name is Blake Cederlin, and he is not currently in this roster. He's a right-hand pitcher. Not much else to say if he's not currently in the roster. The number 29 prospect in the Buck system, according to MLB.com, their pipeline system, is Gage Hins. I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. Try to pronounce the best I can. He is in the roster, and he is a starting pitcher. Here he is, Gage Hins. He throws 4-seam curveball and a changeup. He's a 22-year-old from Montana with C potential and 6'1" overall. His projected ETA to the majors, if he ends up making there, is 2021. So an 11th round draft pick. I don't see much of him for me personally used. Contract he is locked here till 2024. He is 6'4" and got some good height, good stamina. Maybe some of the stats to develop. He might become emergency call-up start pitcher, but I think we will be perfectly fine here. Gave Hins, so that is Gage Hins, the number 29 prospect. Number 28 prospect in the Pittsburgh Pirates system is first baseman Mason Martin, and he is not currently in the roster. His ETA is 2022. We drafted him in the 17th round of 2017. He's not in this roster, and I don't think he would be super high overall in this roster, but he's a pretty good prospect coming up. So, next we're going to move on to the number 27, Rodolfo Castillo. He is an infielder. His ETA is 2020. Drafted him. We actually signed him from the Dominican Republic, where we get a lot of our players in 2015. He is not currently on this roster. We have a lot of infield prospects that will eventually go through, so I'm not worried about it. The number 26 prospect is Jeff Hartley. He is a right-hand pitcher, and he is in the roster as a relief pitcher all the way down here. I think it's pronounced Jeff. I don't think it's pronounced Geoff, but I could be wrong. His ETA is 2019. He's already in the majors currently pitching. He's doing okay. I mean, our bullpen's really been struggling lately. But he's C potential 58 overall. He's 14 change of slider. 25 years old, paying 100K, and he's locked up to 2024. 6'6". I don't personally think I'll use him. He has some nice velocity at 97. He does throw a really hard fastball like in real life. I don't think I'll be using him in this career mode. He obviously ETA is 2019. He is. We drafted him. It's actually a 29th round draft pick in 2014. So the next prospect is 25 on the pipeline is Max Kranak. He's a right-handed pitcher, and he is in 2021 ETA. Drafted in 2016 the 11th round. He is not in this roster currently, nor is number 24 Juan Pai. He is an outfielder. We signed him from the DR from 2017. His ETA is 23, so he probably won't be the most rated prospect if he was. And we have a few outfielder prospects we'll go through. So, number 23 is another right-handed pitcher. He's Cody Bolton. His ETA is 2021. 2017, we drafted him in the 6th round. He is also not on the roster. However, the 22nd prospect in the pipeline, Steven Alames, I think is how you pronounce it. I could be pronouncing it wrong. He is in this roster, and he is a shortstop. So, Steven Alames is a C potential 62 overall shortstop who is from New York. He's only a 23 old, and he is almost expected. His ETA is this year. Cole Tucker being called up this year and being sent down. I don't think his ETA will end up being this year. Could be next year or the year after. But he's a decent prospect. I don't see using him much due to our depth at shortstop. He is here to 2024, so if he does grow nicely, you never know. Stats, he's a pretty good fielder. He needs to develop some of that hitting stats, more contact, but it is Steven Adams. Number 21 prospect is Santiago Flores. He is a right-hand pitcher. ZTA's 2022, and we signed him in 2016 international. He is not in this roster. Not too much said. I don't know. This is one prospect I really don't know a lot about. He's a pretty big guy. I know he's a pretty big frame. His probably best pitch is his fastball. Now, however, the number 20 prospect has a bit of a story behind him. He's actually Nick Birdie. This roster probably makes moves. He is in the MLB, and he did make the MLB roster. He did. He was pretty good out of the bullpen until he got hurt. He was pitching off the mat, and then scary injury in his arm. It just went. You could tell he went to the ground clutching it. He's on the 60-day DL. But lucky he has avoided surgery, and he should be back next year, or very, very late this year. He's been a good pitcher in real life, and I think he will continue to be a good bullpen arm. So, he's a B potential, 56 overall. Not sure if I'll be able to use him. Probably send him back down to the minors, to be honest. He is here till 2023, probably. So, he is he is another pitcher that can throw pretty fast. He also could be a bit of a long reliever, more than 1 or 2 inning guy, but overall, is Nick Birdie, and I hope to see a lot more in future real life. However, in this career mode, I don't think he will necessarily be used. Okay, now the number 19 prospect in the pipeline is Connor Yulston. He is an outfielder. He's listed as a right fielder in this roster, and he is playing right field mostly. Let's get to him over here. Is Connor Yulston. He is an ETA of 2022, and he was drafted in the competitive balance bound B in 2017. He can play everywhere in the outfield. He's a 20-year-old, C potential, 55 overall. Probably won't make it in a roster mode, but I'm excited to see what he could do for our future. I mean, he is locked up 2024, so you never know if we go that far. He could be a pretty good prospect. He's mostly known more of a fielding guy. You can see by some of the stats. He's not bad power for an outfielder, but he'll obviously need to develop his tools more if he wants to make it up to the MLB. So this roster also has the number 18 prospect, J.T. Brubaker. He is a right pitcher and a starter. So let's find him in our long list of starting pitchers, as we have a lot of pitching prospects, as hope we would. J.T. Brubaker, here he is. He is a 61 overall C potential, 6'4" He's pretty good stamina, pretty good velocity, pretty good break. His ETA is actually 2019. With all of our starting pitching injuries and how long it took with the Keller, I would have believed this guy could have had a chance to come this year, but probably won't until next year. Never know though. He is unlocked 2024. He's not the worst prospect in the world. I'm not saying he's bad by any means. He throws a sweeping curve and slider, which is pretty interesting, but I doubt I'll be able to get to use him, especially with other prospects, and due to the fact that our pitching is pretty good. And I think they're under contact for a while as well. So this is J.T. Brubaker. Now, the number 17 prospect is Travis McGregor. His ETA is 2022. He was drafted in 2016 in the second round. He is not, surprisingly, in this lineup. I couldn't find him. So he's a little prospect. He came out of high school, so he's a developmental piece, pretty young. Hopefully he can do some things for us in the future, but as of this career, since he's not on the roster, we're going to move on. 16 prospect is, this is going to be a little bit rough pronunciation here. Tajane Thomas. He's a right-hand pitcher with another ETA of 2022. We signed him. He signed with the Indians, actually, and then we picked him up in a trade, which we acquired Eric Gonzalez and him for Luplo and Mora. Not going well for us, but trades happen. So he's also not in the roster. so not much to talk about there. However, the 15th prospect is a prospect that's been in the majors a little bit, so his ETA, of course, is 2019, and he did get called up a little bit last year, and he is in the roster. He is Pablo Reyes. Pablo Reyes right now is also in the MLB. Pablo Reyes is a 6'7" overall C potential righty. He's a short guy, and he's pretty good fielding, pretty good speed. He's from the DR. He's more of a fielder runner. He has some hit. He doesn't have as much power. I mean, last year he hit 293 for us. He had some home runs in games, and he's here. He's a more utility guy. This guy is definitely utility. Possibly going to be used. I might keep him called up, actually. It's going to depend what I think and what I think our outfield needs, because I think in real life I would personally like to carry 5 outfielders just in case some get hurt. But yes, this is Pablo Reyes. Now the 14th overall pick is, 14th overall prospect, not the 14th overall pick we signed this to, is Lolo Sanchez. He is a center field prospect currently in A-ball. He's a B potential, 58 rating. He can play all the outfield. Signed him out of the Dominican Republic on July 15, 2015. His ETA is 2021. He has some decent contact stats, okay power stats, pretty good, decent fielding stats, but he's pretty fast. Good stealing. He'll need to develop a lot more if I'm going to use him. I don't know if I'll be able to use him with other prospects we'll talk about later. Might just be another trade chip, but good prospect and pretty good for a number 14 prospect. Now, number 13 prospect, I am going to butcher this pretty badly, is a shortstop, Jin Hwan Bae. I might have not pronounced that right. I might have. Who knows? He's a C potential 56 overall who can also play second base. He bats lefty and he throws right. He is from South Korea, like fellow teammate Jung Ho Gang, which I do know how to pronounce. His ETA is 2022. He was signed out of South Korea. Pretty nice. He's more of a contact speed guy. He's pretty good fielding and he's pretty good speedy. I'd say he's more of a hit the ball, get on. He's 19 and has room to develop. We have some good prospects here, so I'm not sure if he'll be able to play, especially since we have one more pure shortstop prospect that's probably ahead of him in the pecking order. So, the number 12 prospect in the pipeline is Will Craig. He is a first baseman, but he's also used to play third base, but he's now purely a first base prospect, but he can play some third base. As shown as his secondary position. His ETA is 2019. I think we should have caught him up with some injuries, but probably might be next year when he's 25. He was our first round draft pick in 2006. He has some power to him, has some fielding of his own. I think his power stats are a little underrated, but hey, that's me being a biased Pittsburgh fan. But that's not going to force me from making moves that will win this team championships. Durability is pretty nice. Feeling is pretty nice. Most of these prospects I don't think should contract. Most of them are locked up to 2024. Don't think I'll be using him because especially since Bell develops, and I think he doesn't, we'll probably get a guy. But he's still a nice prospect that could be intriguing for the future. Now, our number 11 prospect is Braxton Ashcraft. He is a starting pitcher. If I can find him here. Here he is, Braxton Ashcraft. He is a high school standout pitcher. Obviously, he showed by the age of 19. He was born in Texas. He throws a really interesting mix. He sinker, slider, changeup, and he's developed a fastball. That's pretty nice. He is a B potential 59 overall. Pretty good rounded stats. Has some good velocity. Could feature if we go a while in this career mode. Never know. So, I mean, he might probably vault, though, because I don't know if I'll go to 2024. I might go to 2022, 2021, so he might not feature. Don't also want to trade away all my prospects, because I don't want to be a complete empty farm team, but I think we can compete. ETA is 2022. He was a second-round draft pick in 2018, the 51st overall pick, and that is Braxton Ashcraft. Now, we are getting into the top 10 prospects in our system. All of these prospects are in the roster, as they should be, as they are top 10 prospects. Number 10 prospect is a starter by the name of Steven Jennings. Just a few up from him. He's a C potential 61 overall, so his four-seam slider, changeup, curveball. Great stamina, pretty decent velocity. He is a 2021 ETA, and he was drafted in 2017 as a second-round pick and the 42nd pick overall. He's an intriguing prospect, but like a lot of younger starting pitcher prospects, I don't know if they'll get in because our starting pitching staff, one of the best in the NL personally. I think one of the best in our division, which is one of the best divisions, if not the best division in all of baseball. So I don't know if he'll feature, but he is our 10th rated prospect. So number 9 rated prospect here in the Bucs system is Jared Oliva. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but he is also in it. So he is a leather left field prospect. He is 23 years of age, C potential 59 overall. He's another utility player. He's more of a fielding than some contact stats. He's a 2020 ETA. Don't think I'll be using him. This is probably one of my trade pieces here. I have decent outfield depth, and I have a few other prospects, necessarily in left field, but other positions that can play. And I don't think I'll be getting rid of most of my outfield. Some of it I might, and it might need some of these prospects, but I don't know if it would definitely be Jared Oliva. So, next prospect is a center field prospect, a prospect that I talked about a little bit in the first episode, Jason Martin. His ETA is obviously 2019, and he did make a 2019 ETA. So you see potential 64 overall and utility player. He didn't hit the greatest while he was up, but his role right now. He was a Houston draft pick, and obviously in the Cole trade, we got him. Good prospect, pretty good hitter, and he has some speed to him. Probably that's what he's known for. His fielding isn't the greatest, but yet again, not a lot of our outfielders fielding are. He's an intriguing prospect. He might be one I eventually use. He might actually be obviously kept up in that position, but we will have to see. Now, number 7 prospect is another starting pitcher, Luis Escobar. Let's pick him up here. Where is Luis? Here he is. He's a 61 overall B potential, 22 years of age, born in Colombia. Like our South American players and our players a lot. He's decent velocity, more stamina type of guy. He's got a pretty good fastball, 95. He's got a changeup, and he throws an original 12-6 serve. Sleep contract, most in 2024. Yet again, this might actually be a starting pitcher that could be broadcast in this career mode, but I don't know. I love our starting pitching prospects. I love them, but I like our starting pitching now. You never know due to free agency, freak injuries, stuff like that, so you never know what's going to happen. So, the number 6 prospect is an outfield prospect by the name of Calvin Mitchell. He's another left field prospect. Calvin Mitchell is a 56 overall C potential lefty that can play everything on the outfield at the age of 20. He's a 2021 ETA. Luis Escobar I didn't really talk about. He's a 2020 ETA, and we signed him in 2013. I apologize. Calvin Mitchell is a 2021 ETA. He was drafted in the second round, 2017, with the 50th overall pick. He's more of a hit contact guy. Pretty good vision. His contract's up with 2024. Don't know yet again. A lot of our prospects will actually present himself, but we'll have to see. So, the number 5 pick is a very familiar prospect in Kevin Kramer, our second base prospect. Talked a little bit about him. He's a 25-71 overall B prospect, an oscillating shortstop. Pretty good fielding stats, pretty good arm strength, pretty good arm accuracy, pretty good contact, might be a little bit up. A 2019 ETA. He might make a club due to injuries this year. Wouldn't be surprised if he does. If not, makes the club out of spring training next year. Drafted in 2015 as a second-round pick, 62 overall pick. If Frazier gets hurt, this is our man. He's pretty good. He can also play short. If Newman shows this, also our man. He definitely will feature in this career mode, and I know this for sure. So this is Kevin Kramer. So the number 4 prospect shortstop prospect I was talking about earlier is O'Neal Cruz. here he is. He is an A potential 60 overall 20-year-old that can also play third base. He's 2020 ETA. He was actually signed by the Los Angeles Dodgers when we picked him up. He is the 79th overall prospect in the top 100, but this roster only goes to the top 50. And Kramer on the roster is 48, and this dude is not one of the top prospects, unfortunately. I don't know why, but he's just not. He has great speed. He's a speed guy. He can hit for some power. He's pretty good power. Seen there. Hopefully he develops more, and he could be, if Newman decides to leave, this could be our guy, as Newman has a lot of contract, but if he doesn't develop, Krug could be a nice bench bat. You never know. So, number 3 pick, and our 2018 first round pick out of Southern Alabama is Travis Swaggerty. Now, Travis Swaggerty is the 68th overall prospect in the top 100, the 50th in the top 50 for this game. His ETA is 2021. He is a lefty. He has some great speed, pretty good fielding. He has some good contact, decent power. He's going to be hopefully a prospect. I hope he goes by 2020. That could be featured. I kind of hope he is, because if Marte gets old, he might be a piece to move on. And Swaggerty is right up there, definitely to replace him in that center field position. Let him develop. Don't need to rush prospects. I think he will be used, and obviously is one of the better prospects in the system. Next is our third baseman prospect, our golden gem, Ke'Bryan Hayes. Where is he? There he is, Ke'Bryan Hayes. He is an ETA of this year, 2019. Maybe will. I mean, but Moran and Gunn are platooning. Now, so he might not. He would definitely feature him. He's one of our, if not the best prospect in our system. He was drafted in 2015 first pick. He is a top prospect, 38th overall on the list. He's 31 in the top 50 according to this. He's the third best third baseman according to MLB Pipeline. A potential, he's pretty good. He has some hitting power. He has decent arm, pretty good, decent speed. He's more of a hitter. He definitely should feature in this perimeter at some point, bench bat, whatever it shall be. Also, injuries a big factor, and definitely plan to keep him around. But now we've getting to the time we all waited for, our number 1 prospect who made his debut. Kind of sucked it, but I think he's also going to make another pitching appearance here on us for, I think it's Wednesday for us, is Mitch Keller. The top prospect now, the 22-8 potential 68 overall, 4-season who is from Iowa. He is the number 18 prospect into the pipeline, 14th according to the roster, the 4th right-hand pitcher prospect. His stamina is pretty good. He's all around just a great player. His contract is up 2024. If Kingdom doesn't do well, or one of them, I might use trade, Keller could be our guy. He could be our 5th, or he could be above prospect in this rebuild. I feel like he could be. So, this episode we reviewed the top 30 prospects. Next episode we are going to get with final roster adjustments before we hop into not spring training. I'm not going to show spring training. Before we hop into the regular season, going to hop in. We'll make some last minute roster adjustments. Then we will be heading in. Also, we might be looking at some free agents to pick up, so don't be hurt if you're a Pirate fan. If I trade your favorite player, or I decide to pick up some nice free agents. So, this is the second episode. My name is LT. Peace out.